Series 4 is going through its pre orders. As of this recording, there are 11 days left, and they have all been funded, but only two have sold out. Now, we're going to talk about Series 5. There are, of course, these five that were selected. We're going to see which ones are definitely going to sell out and which ones might have a bit of a challenge and see who will do it first. Our first one is the Thieves of Tortuga by Krakenator, and he's been a finalist and I think been one for at least one or two others. This is his primary build, very much along the Pirates theme that LEGO has been doing a lot of in selections for the Bricklink Designer Program. It has classic structures. You'd see a seaport with some more, I guess, Caribbean style of builds to it, and we'll dive into a little bit of the details here. First section is the different anglings to it. We do have a small boat here that probably goes out to a larger vessel, and then three main structures on each side with a bridge connecting them. There's, of course, two dock sections since it is a Tortuga docking area. The left side has a pirate flag over one of the buildings here. I like the building structure, has the brick built style of, well, using the 1x2 bricks as well as the rear side, and it even has a little bit of flowers. We're keeping up with the design that we need to for having a home. There's a small gate on the side. Of course, you've got to have a gate into the port section, our wishing well or a little well to it, and a couple of the main buildings. I love the terracotta roof stylings and the different colors. This is one's thatched roof. And there's a guy that's deciding that he needs to empty out his bucket onto somebody below. That's a fun use of a piece there, as it's usually for like an octopus or some other creature. We do have the dock, as we've said before. And then on the lower section, we have steps going down into the water and our bridge that connects. And the bridge has the great little stud sections here as well, so that we can see how they're going to have minifigures connect, and our palm trees. On the right hand side, a couple more palm trees and three more buildings. And there's a different shop down here and one cannon for protection. They might need some more, but usually the ships are the one protecting. And we've got a seagull and a shark that's hung over here that they have caught for probably eating or just having on display. And this is the overview of the full build itself. Some of the interior is built as well. We've got a pirate here in a bar. They're not going to call it a bar, but it definitely is, as we have a tap and a lot of different bottles and little seating area to have their meals as well as a few drinks. The second building has gold, lots of gold. They got to store it somewhere, so we've got gold doubloons or ingots, as it's called on Bricklink, and a candle. And this woman is has a little musket. I don't know if she's stealing or depositing some of these in there. Another one is a similar one. This one has a gold chest and some maps up at the top section with these fun, smaller builds of different ships. And this pirate, of course, has to have a peg leg. There is a target practice area around the gate, and a few people have not hit the target very well, and they might have shot someone because they put a little skeleton figure underneath. There is another fishing market where, as you can see, there's a knife here cutting up all the fish in the catch so that they can feed most of the people in the town. Overall, it's a beautiful build, and personally, it will reach a sellout point. I'm not going to say it's number one, though. The Mushroom Village by Jonas Kram. Now, he's been selected for one other and probably going to be selected for a next one in Series 7. This one is a continuation of his first one, as he did a mushroom house. Now, this is a mushroom village. The overall build has some great detailing to it, as we've got not only a mushroom house to add on, but a mushroom windmill, and it looks like a stump as well, and some more creatures that these little guys are on. We even have a large scale figure instead of these smaller people, so it looks like it's a bit of a surprise for him. Going through some of the images, as I said, this one has a ladybug, and I love the head that they've used here to create that structure of the antennas and eyes and the little mouth pincers there. And of course, someone is riding it. They're taking flowers somewhere, wondering if they're selling it. And we have another small child or person that is carrying another flower. This is using some of those shoulder pads that you see on like a kernel to have that flower designed. Some other minifigures, we've got a bard. It looks like a gem person that is going in the mines and getting some gems, a wizard figure, as well as somebody going through and getting a carrot, a rather large carrot, especially since they're all mini figures for sure in this style of set. This is the backside of our village. We've got a little ferry, it looks like, and our windmill and our house structure. As we can see, here's the mines in the bottom section, our wizarding area, and then you can use the crank to turn the windmill here. And we've got the house with some details as well, and a lot of plant like structures to it. In the stump, it's a little home with a bed covering that is little plant leaves, and it's just some other really fun details. And I love that's in this stump form here. It has an upper section for like a little tea party that you can have. The other side has the exterior to the other house with a lot of mushrooms, and I love how they've used the ninja swords to create like plants, like reeds almost, and then some hanging flowers here. The inside of the tower, as I said before, it's got a little magical section. There's a magic book, and then, of course, astronomy, different potions on the upper level. Lower section has another bed, but this is more of the gem design. There's even a large scale leaf as a mat. That is such a unique way of really leaning into this theme, and the interior of the house as well, another bed. And overall, it's a continuation of a set that was very successful. I want to say this is the first one that's going to sell out, and probably and the first one, of course, that'll reach funding. Our third one is the antique shop. This is by the one guy, Steve. First time, I believe, in a cellar, and it's an antique shop. So this is kind of a continuation of a modular build that you can add. You're not supposed to have modulars, but this is something that you place on a base plate and put it in your scene. Now, what I love overall about this is it's very much what an old school antique shop would look like. They even have an antique car, the family that's going there to look around, and of course the old school shopkeeper, and the store itself looks rather old. They've done a great job with the roofing structure. I am terrible at these pop out window sections, and the windows are kind of that yellowish color to give it that antique feel. And here it is, more so on a countertop. I always don't know if these are renders or full photos. I know that Jonas Cram does it as brick built, and this is the roof that can come off. You see the upstairs section. This is where the shopkeeper lives. There's a full bed. I like the little fan detail. We don't see that very much in other builds. And then this is the backside. There's a generator to power the place, so it's not connected to electric unless this is their backup generator. The other side has the chimney structure with an, I'd say, apple tree, but I don't see any apples, but they do have some flowers that have fallen on the ground here. And the awnings are really beautifully done, having the alternating colors and the inverse slopes to create that outward look to it. And this is the interior of the antique store. First thing you see when you walk in is a small chess set. Then we've got some just random assortments on the table, very much what you'd find in an antique store. Genie lamps, some cups and plates. On the other side, we've got some old school hats, a lantern. It looks like it's an old TV gaming system, and then shelves with a camera, a ship, some books, just the hodgepodge that you'd find in an antique store. The other side has an old school record player, a clock, similar thing. This is a sewing machine, a violin, and some artwork. It's an antique store that, I mean, look at all this. This is a plethora of things that you, of course, want to have for your antique store. I love that there's the Benny old school figure as a painting. And then you do get a classics truck. This is where the antique store owner probably is going out to get some of those great finds and bringing them in. You can take the roof section off and have it as a convertible, or you can have that where you put the figure in and then maybe load up the truck with some of those items. It's probably going to sell. I think all of these are going to sell out, or not sell out, excuse me, be funded. This one, it's not going to be selling out fast. It might not sell out at all based on what I think and have seen in previous series. The Adventure in Transylvania by Sleepless Night. Now, A lot of people have wanted this. This is a new type of castle. We've seen so many other just classic grayscale castlings, but this one is Dracula. This one is a deep red color with a black exterior, the blue tiled roof to it, a really unique curved staircase. All in all, it just like ekes out like that classic gothic feel. On the other alternate angle here, we've got a different cemetery area. There's an arched bridge section, so I'm wondering what's going to be found under there. This very much looks like a cathedral or church style to it, and the sweeping staircase, as we can see a little bit better here. It does looks like it has a closed up. Yeah, this section looks like it does close up, so you can open it with this one major section in the back, kind of pull it out to give it a larger feel. Again, similar picture. This one has a fun signage and then the banner of the little bat that we've seen in many of minifigures. This is again, the more detailed version of the cathedral section, and it looks like we've got a ghost of some sort because there's the ghost legs looking out from the tower itself. Inside is Dracula. There's a photo, and right here is the sarcophagus that we can probably open up and find Dracula. This is likely his photo before he turned into Dracula. I said before, it does open up and have those different sections. So we've got a cross-like room here. These are all explorers kind of going through and seeing what they can find. There's even a dungeon cell to it. And when it's fully open, I think it looks really great. There's a Frankenstein monster. We've got little rats around. Dracula did pop out. An organ, so a dance room. All really unique details. Here are all our minifigures, explorers, different characters that are part of it, and of course, the undead Dracula. This is going to sell out. Guarantee it. Honestly, it's a big competition between this and the Mushroom Village to be number one. You know, I'm going to change my mind. This is number one, then the Mushroom Village. Just everybody loves castles, and this is so unique. And number 5, our popcorn wagon. This was designed by Micture, and it's one of the small builds. LEGO does select one of the small builds in the Bricklink Designer Program. This one is a food one, which they pick a lot of food ones recently. And it does go, you can put it in any of your city sets and have this displayed to have a fun thing in the park. Now, this overall looks like an old school wagon, and it's on a cobbled street with a sidewalk section with some flowers, a lamppost, and of course a kid getting some popcorn. The backside has a old school popcorn machine to it, and our shop owner with a broom, probably cleaning up all the popcorn that's been spread out from all of, well, the customers that have dropped it. The interior shows a little cash register as well, some other sweets, and maybe a cookie or coffee to go as well. There's a coin paying for the popcorn, which is the popcorn has always been used as this fun little ice cream style of topping that's older, I think. I do like that there's the gold wheels to it, and the gold roofings give it that accent, with popcorn always being in a red bucket. This little turnstile here will show that it shows the popping of the popcorn in the large box. That's a really nice additional detail to such a small build. As you can see, it goes up and down to show the popping and filling of popcorn. So that's the small build. It will be funded. It will not sell out. That is my call on this. So if we go back through all of them here for Series 5, I'm going with the number 1 to sell out will be the Adventure in Transylvania. Second one will be the Mushroom Village. Third one will be the Thieves of Tortuga, the Antique Shop, and the Popcorn Wagon, in that order of how they'll be funded the most. The Transylvania Mushroom Village will sell out. Possibly the Thieves of Tortuga, but the Antique Store and Popcorn Wagon will not. So you can look forward to that come June 10th at 8 a.m. Pacific time to go through that purchase. You know, you will have to deal with the Bricklink Designer Program website always crashing, but these are some that I would definitely recommend. I will get at least 2, maybe 3 of these because they are well designed and I need to have them. Which ones are you interested in buying? Let me know in the comments below, and then hopefully we'll see you get those come June 10th. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video, and stay tuned for more discussions on the Bricklink Designer Program and all things Lego. Catch you later.